Bristol. And,
Can I see it, Tom?
33 pounder,
Yeah.
Jerry Rose is on there, board there. He's from
somebody else.
Sheldon Prospect School in East Kentucky.
Again, you got the thing underneath, see how it's collapsed? Now, see how it was over your back, over the back again,
You
right?
know, Mountain Road.
There's where you were long ago.
Well,
That's
I
when
don't,
we beat you
I
with
don't
the
travel
roll.
that much, and I get,
Because that's what everybody does,
I
isn't it?
never did travel that much.
And we wanna beat people what they do. So that's what we did.
I don't mind.
Now, here's what they do when they're in the other position. Now, we're gonna beat you here too, 'cause we're gonna come over there with both hands, grab that your leg,
I used to
and
go
lift.
from Ohio
Stand
City.
you wanna do. Now,
and
you wanna lift
usually
some
when I-
farther.
And then
Goes
my
around the
sister
road,
goes
you
from
want to catch him down,
Texas,
to run around from inside
and
that
then
truck.
Texas drive up to the hill.
Probably will get you to his side and he's gonna be
Just
crazy.
driving on by yourself.
Follow me? Yeah, now you'll end up getting in.
That's the trouble I've had the last 7
I
years.
doubt if you cradle, like, you know what I'm talking about. If you can do it,
Passenger buses.
I doubt if you'll cradle from that hole before you
Takes a
get
CDL
over the
drive.
side. Now, why do people,
So I
why?
usually end up driving that thing
Now,
in
you
Indianapolis
need
to
your attention
Ashland,
to that
Ohio,
position.
to
It's
Shippensburg,
stalemate.
Pennsylvania, to
It's not still in
Baltimore, to
regardless of where
Annapolis,
you're in.
you know, Pensacola.
Also, how many guys are?
You know, it's not so bad going up, if you get done with the tournament at 6 or 7 in the evening. And
Tomatoes or
I used to
just
drive a fish truck.
There's
all
not a hole,
over
you
fish,
go out and
yeah,
set your mind on working.
from
If it's there,
up where I
it's
live,
there.
over in the
If
canyon.
it isn't there, it
And
isn't
that
there.
water swishing around, maybe into
If
the
you're
truck
going
all the
places
time,
where
you
you
could
can
stop it in
just
100 years if you had to.
I'll bet that truck felt like it was tipping all the time.
Yeah, and it was more like this too. If you hadn't tried it, somebody stopped, there wasn't no way you could stop it. That water would push you right on top of it. So I quit driving after that.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, now you think about it, there it is right there. Let's say that's a position you go into a straight from, it's one of them. And it's a hole, it's pinned. No doubt about you been pinned, but it's not a hole that I can tell you get all excited about learning and doing on everybody, because you're not gonna do it to everybody, because everybody's not gonna get in that position. But what I want you understanding, and I want you leaving here with the idea that you know that those stalemates that you see getting caught constantly are not stalemates. You guys just didn't know what the hell to do. And I hope that you now have an idea what to do. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you will grab that leg with 2 hands and lift and fight him, I don't care if you're in an inside leg trip or not, you're gonna get out of it by just enough to fight him. And you're gonna beat him like that. You'll get You're gonna make it smooth and easy, yeah, and not go to an inside leg trip. Okay? And I hope if I shoot for you, you lock around my way.
I seen that boy come in
I
here
hope you like
this morning
it.
with all that mud all
Don't
over
beat your
his shoes, and I said, he's gonna get.
All you gotta remember to do
red
is
clay
put
or
those hips
whatever it
down,
was.
and he cannot lift
Yeah,
you
we got a
over
little
your
red dirt around
keep your
here.
hips up.
Huh?
We got a little red dirt around
After
here.
across the mat. You won't get him, he won't get you. But you want him to be able to. You don't want him to be able to do that, so that's where you.
Oh, cockfighter down in this part of
Question you're in.
North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah, my father-in-law lives in Chester, South Carolina. And
Register.
Old man down in Green.
Okay, there you go, right there. Your legs flat, something like that now.
yeah,
Right there, you go.
they're more
Lift it.
in
Now,
South
there's
Carolina.
the church. No, well, that's
There's several people around
Let's
my
do the other
father-in-law
one. Let's knock it over.
that you know the
Now
ring.
step over the other leg. Now come, go right around. Come to your knees.
Do I
Come
still
to
There's
your
no
knees.
money in Pike.
Yeah, now go to your knees. Come to your knees.
Put the money in the
Then
side.
I'll pray, right? Now roll off.
Good money.
There you go.
So, that car.
Now, I'd much rather you go with knees because it gives you real good position when you do it
Kentucky.
in such a way that when you take this guy over in that position, both shoulders
No,
go
I
down.
took a lot of people.
Let me show you something on a cradle here, in this particular cradle situation.
Costs a lot of money, right?
You really gotta be aware of.
Then you got
How many
dogs
times have
there,
you seen
and
this
those
in
come
the
in
show?
and
I'm gonna just put you, okay, here we are. And here,
They don't even bother no
how
more.
many times have you seen?
Yeah.
They
Right
break
here.
their, right
And,
there, fight
and you couldn't pin, you couldn't pin
They
together.
challenged them.
You know,
Couldn't turn
you
and they
couldn't
didn't bother.
And the reason was, he did this.
They tried to get it
Turn right
on
here.
the dog.
Now what's wrong?
Yeah,
His right shoulder, I can't get it out.
yeah.
I can't
Now,
get it down.
around
And what I
us,
want you to do on a cradle is this.
North Carolina, I don't hear too much
When I
about
hit the cradle, I
cockfighting.
go
You hear
over to my head.
Yeah.
Now I roll up.
Guy knew was
Now,
already
show us
prison
the
up
back.
where I live at. He was off and he was
Did you
prison.
see?
No, really?
That burned you up over it.
But that may make the difference one of these days, you get a
Cockfighting is a misdemeanor.
pin it up. I'm telling you, if you do what the average bear does,
That
you
was
will
funny,
cut a
they
cradle
raised
short
the
every
fight
time.
one time when I was here.
You know what I mean by cutting it short?
two of the cops.
You'll try to go for it
One
too
of the
fast.
nephew was there, and one of them.
You'll try to turn him before your head ever goes over. So you turn him at an angle, which means the crossover's gonna step, and you
What
can't.
are you doing here?
Hang on to it, over till your head is, roll up. You got me?
Friend of mine went from my house, he pushed.
All that little crap, so it makes everything work.
To Louisiana.
Supposed to be both, main fire bolts.
They flew him up first for condition, and he set him back,
Let
and
me ask you this.
he went to
I
3
bet
days
there's a
early.
gap to you.
He won $92,000.
Brandon gets black with it.
And Tom got through.
You got him.
Everything.
You're in the cradle, you're on your hands and knees, right? You
25.
got your cradle on him, Brendan, and you're locked up. And you can't get him over. Let me tell you, you ever seen this where Zach's got his arm sticking out, and he's got a big brace, and he can't get him over? You ever seen this? Happens all the time. What does Brandon have to do?
I thought South Carolina was fighting.
What does he have to do to make this thing work?
One of the colleges, no, there was a fight.
No, turn loose of the cradle.
Yes,
Stay
South
where you are.
Carolina, USC is.
Turn loose of the cradle, slide down to the ankle. That same
In the
arm.
Navy, you fight.
Now, knock him over.
A friend of mine was in the Navy, he gave me.
Now lock the cradle.
And the
Now take
lieutenant
him
was Brewster fighting and attack.
Well, you never roll over if you don't have a leg up. Lay on him. If you don't have a leg up, stay good up again, stay forward. Come back up again. If you don't hook a leg on a cradle, never roll off of it. If you hook the leg, roll off of it. If you don't hook the leg, just lay right on his face. Smother it. Just stop on it. Just solid. So don't ever roll off if you don't have the leg up. But here, this is important. Get a cradle again. I don't know how many times I've
They're
seen
done.
the guy had a cradle and he could not get that guy over. Couldn't get him
Figured
over.
I went back to that motel today.
Turn loose to the knee, go down to the ankle, knock him over.
One had 3, I don't know.
Cradle,
what got moved
step,
down there.
yeah, no, they right on it.
All my.
Right on it.
I
See what I'm talking about?
I did.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm asking you to do damn nearly impossible. If to tell you to turn loose that cradle, you think I'm nuts.
I couldn't wait to get out.
You do, I mean, I'm telling you, I know you do, because you think, yeah, why would he want me to turn this cradle? Because you can't get him over, you locked it too soon. The last thing you do on a cradle is lock your hands. It's not the first thing, the last thing. In fact, I can do a cradle on you with my hands unlocked, it's tighter than my one with the lock. So, don't be so quick to lock your hands, because you do it too quick, you put yourself in trouble. Get a guy there once. Get it. Is that that's, yeah, I get you guys. I'm 20 days. I think I already got Alzheimer's. You two guys get
One
together.
more was here,
Travis, yesterday. There you go. Right now. Let's
you
you get a cradle on the
come down, and work
Oh,
out.
Derek
got-
Combs,
get
he's
lucky.
transferred from Penn State.
Now,
He's-
as big as Zach
he
is,
and my
when I
youngest
get
son
it,
both-
stick his arm
That's
down
right.
way out there, run his outside leg out there, and you're not gonna get him over, you understand?
Yeah.
Now, try to take him over, and Zach,
He's really sure.
brace us like you would. Try to take him over.
That's Travis.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it. But if you turn loose to the cradle, slide out to the heel, now lift and knock him over. Knock him over. No, just knock him over. Just wait, keep knocking him over. Now you can lock your hands, step over the bottom leg, go back to your knee, go over till your head hits. Now roll off forward and push over. But you cannot get him over if you
Good
don't turn
boy,
loose to
comes
the
out
cradle.
there, he's like a machine.
He's lanky, long, got all the braces seen up there. and
His skin is good, but
Let's see you do that, old fellow, because you're being
everything he knew, nothing worked at the, nothing, he didn't work.
Nothing whatsoever. No, don't lay over if you don't have the leg up. If you have the leg up, roll over. If you don't, lay on him.
Okay, we got Dave.
That's exactly what everybody thinks. Exactly what everybody thinks. Okay, on your feet, I want you to grab the guy's hand, you're gonna tie at the elbow. You're gonna tie at the elbow, lower your level, boom, shoot in on your single. We'll see you do it.
We
Anybody can have some TSC?
No,
Okay.
there's one here in Shelby, and,
Yeah.
Okay?
Up,
Be careful, head outside and let you know what you're doing.
My turn.
I just wonder if I
Nobody
can
does.
get
Go.
it cheaper through the TSC than I can through the weightlifting.
it was 32, 34.95, and you run them on sale for like 32.
Okay, why these are weightlifting stores is about 40 bucks.
Yeah, you can get $55.
Yeah. Is it more by acre or four by acre? I keep getting on, I teach my degrees are in English, but I'm teaching a couple of PE classes here. And I keep getting on our department here because everybody when they purchase right out of the catalog. Yeah, the markup in the catalog, the PE catalog. It's huge.
TSC would give the top the discount too.
I'm gonna check that.
They usually got a big skid of them sitting right out in front of the store. They're pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Seems like them stores are all over the place. I didn't know that.
We had in the Canton and Massillon area, actually in the bar, you know, the farming country, Stark County is, there's not a TSC, there's some other, yeah, it might be still part of the same conglomerate, but it's a different chain. It sells all the same kind of stuff.
Okay, back again.
You know how you said don't die out? Is it okay, to go to the shoulder like that? Because that's like.
Well, yeah, coach is showing you some things to do. He's showing you how to control it, yeah. But don't just reach out and hang on to them, do that. You got to move it then.
Because that's part of my setup, it's just pushing and pulling.
Yeah, pushing and pulling is good. If you want to know why you're pushing and pulling.
Yeah.
If you're creating a situation where he's out of position because he stepped forward with a leg or he pulled back with a leg close to it or he's pulling on, you know, whatever you've done, you've created an out of position. Now, go the way the water flows. He's going to react to that out of
They
position.
just built a new high school this year. They're
Coach,
supposed
come here just a second.
Sure.
What you asked, a good question, but just take a look. Get with it, man. He's already talked, everybody did Sunday night. He showed you position, he showed you what you think you got today, same thing. What's he doing? Look, see? He's pushing himself, so. Now you say, well, he's grabbing the head. Not really. He's not grabbing the head, he's punching the head, he's moving it around.
Yeah, we never go here first.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, inside out, shoulder bicep, tricep, push, pull, slide off, bang.
See what Brendan's doing constantly? Constantly being, it's like being on a board about to fall in the butt. I mean, you're losing your base. Okay? You like an underhook person. Everybody said, how do you get an underhook, coach? Go get it. Just go get it. One of the easiest underhooks in the world is to start by putting your hand up on the neck. Then he grabs the elbow and rotate your arm right to the underhook. Found it? If you grab your neck, you go grab his elbow. Now you just leave his elbow there and just rotate his arm. Just follow him around. There, good. Couldn't be any easier than that. Now I'll tell you what, now remember this, it's only folk stop. But I love to tie up your head. Two-handed. Two-handed. Fellas, let me tell you something. You do this two-handed, and I want you to literally be thinking about trying to bounce his face off the floor. I mean, actually what I'd like for you to do, I'm not going to. Brendan's going to beat you there with his hands. But I'll guarantee you he's going to turn loose on you with his hands to do that. But he likes his face a lot better than he does his hands. So if I grab you here, now I'm gonna lower my level. As I lower my level, I keep my elbows vertical so you can't shoot under me. Now when I get down to the end of my level, to the end of my lower, see, this is as low as I'm gonna go. Now I'm gonna go back and put his face right where I am. Now, he better put his head down pretty quick, or I'm gonna bounce his head off the floor. You feel it? You just damn near to get him down something. I'll tell you what. Just make a believer out of it, I guarantee you that. I'll tell you something else. He cannot. If I put 160 pounds on that double-ended tie, and I drop back and put it down, something you gotta go, fellas. You got it? All right. What time we take off the book?
It's about 9:30.
So we got it here. So what do you think? How about you?
That's the trouble with college cafeterias for camps. You know, all you can eat is that they have to eat all that they can.
Yeah, that's true.
It shouldn't get, you know, most of the camp, like when I hosted developmental camps here, kids would come in and have to make weight for Fargo or, you know, UNI or whatever. And then we're here in camp, and instead of losing 7 or 8 pounds during the week, they've gained 5. Because they're eating all they can.
This weight problem, fellas, just believe me now, it's probably as important as the knowledge you need to know to wrestle is how you do your weight. Now, I don't know who they are, but they figured out that 50% of high school masters are lost because of bad eating habits. Food. And I'll tell you this, and you better put this down in your mind, because I'm telling you the facts, that your brain triggers a digestive response, things that are learned. The day before, the night before, here's what I tell a guy to do if you can learn to do it. The night before, have your weight down, be a pound under or 2 pounds under, whatever it is. I mean even on, but I'd rather have you be under. Go home, eat a good meal, eat plenty, whatever it is you want. Be satisfied. Don't give up. I want you to have what satisfies you. What to eat? I think it's what you're used to eating. I eat steak. No, not necessarily. Potatoes, look good, spaghetti. But what is it you're used to eating? I've been to Russia and see them feed us steak and eggs, and then eat hard bread cheese and cabbage soup, and go out and beat the hell out of you. Gone to Japan, see them eat rice and fish and whatever, and feed you steak and eggs, and you got to beat the hell out of it. I'd say it's what you're used to eating. It's kind of what you eat, because it's the way you're diet.
My Youngstown kids would drive me nuts. They were eating Italian sausage and peppers and onions and all that stuff. Was, you know, I'd be breathing fire.
They grew up on it though, okay? So, but eat the night before. Now, what happens when you eat a big meal? What happens? What do you want to do when you eat a big meal? You want to sleep. Now, you go to bed, and you're full, you're satisfied, you got food and water in your stomach. You got a mess tomorrow, you're satisfied. You'll go to sleep. You go to sleep because you had this food in you. It's just as natural as it can be. Well, a simple stomach down. Now, you get up in the morning, then you feel good because you slept last night. You didn't roll and toss and tumble and get up and rinse your mouth out because you're thirsty and drink a little water on top of that because you weren't supposed to tell anybody because you had to get your weight down so your germs have to water, which is the dumbest thing you could ever do. And then you go out there the next day and you have no rest the night before. You're sucking your guts out. You hadn't eaten anything the night before, or maybe 3 or 4 meals before. So now you got you on a mat and you're at a low energy level, even though you've got adrenaline flowing, it doesn't last long because you have your food in your body is depleted. And then you peter out and it just doesn't work right. Eat the night before, sleep the night before, the day you go out there, what you ate yesterday is what you're going to live on today, not what you eat today. Today is going to take too long to digest for you to do anything any good for today. I want you hungry. I want your belly growling. I want you actually nervous from maybe missing your food. Because the more nervous you are, the more allergic you are, the more allergic, the quicker you are. I'd much rather have you hungry than to have you eat something today for the rest of it. Most guys want to go fill up. Don't do it. Don't do it. You be hungry and see pretty. You never see a fat dog chasing a rabbit, fellas. You know what I mean? Now, how many of you guys would have eaten something today had you, if you were going to be wrestling today? Wouldn't you have eaten pretty good or not? Well, be careful. I can't live your life for you, but I can tell you that I'd rather have you hungry today than to have you full. I want you full last night, not this morning. Now, I want you empty. I want your stomach empty. Nervous. Smash last, if you go all day long, I don't want you eating a meal. I want you eating some fruit maybe, but not a meal. Unless you have a pretty long period in there between wrestling. And I mean a pretty good period, 5 or 6 hours. So not everybody agrees on this, but everybody says, well, wait, you gotta eat something, you gotta have that energy. Man, the stuff I eat today is not gonna help me today. Except for the live food, not cooked food, but apple, orange, banana, grapes, peach, apricots, I don't care. Fruit's one of the best things you can do. Coach, is there any scientific evidence that you can give me that I'm right or wrong?
Yeah, there's a ton of evidence of that. You know, I'm going to throw a word out here, but it takes at least 24 hours for your body to reach homeostasis. If you depleted it, and you're trying to add stuff in it to get back to equilibrium and balance in your system. And, you know, I was cross-country coach here, and I'd never coached a running event, and I had never seen a cross-country meet until I coached my first one. And so I did a ton of reading. There's a Dr. Vigil out of Adams State that's probably the best distance coach in the Western Hemisphere. I read his book like the Bible. And, you know, there's a reason why long distance runners load up 48 hours before the race and then eat nothing the day of the race.
You hear it 48 hours before. Well, I'll tell you something. What we're talking about right now is more important than probably any hold I can teach you. I'm telling you. It is probably, well, I don't say probably, it's more important than any hold or group hold I can teach you is what you do with your weight.
There's a team in Division II that I'm very familiar with that has experienced the same thing that you talk about, you know, Minnesota and Oklahoma State going through. You know, Ashland University probably has a talent every year to win a national title. But every tournament that I'm at, that they're at in December and January, their kids are up all night in a hotel workout room cutting weight. Hard. And they do very well at Midwest Classic and the Wendy's Classic and all that stuff. And you might think that finishing 4th or 5th every year is not bad. But I think they've got the talent to win it. And they finish 4th or 5th because guys get out there and you know, when they need their energy the most, usually the semifinals, because you know what, actually the quarterfinals in NCAA, because if you make it to the semis, you're guaranteed All-American. And I can't tell you the number of times I've seen some of their best kids make it to the quarterfinals, win a tough match, and then get their butts beat in the semifinals, and then injury default the rest of the tournament to take 6th place. Because they're done.
Well, don't let it happen to you. I didn't mean to come here and start talking about it. We just told you guys are sleepy. I just want you to understand why you're sleepy. It's normal. It's natural. We're a simple stomach animal. Anything you feed, a hog is a simple stomach animal. You feed him, boom, he goes to sleep. A dog is a simple stuff down. You feed him, what do you want to do? First thing he does, he goes to sleep. You feed you, you want to go to sleep. That's good the night before, but don't do it the day of. The day I want you hungry, because the food that you ate yesterday and all is even before that is what you're going to be going on. So please don't go out here and train your butt off learn a good lesson, you got to throw it to the wind because you ate the wrong way. If you're not going to die of starvation for doing without food right. Water, keep your intake out. The dumbest thing I've ever heard is when I was a kid, when you had practice, if you go get a drink of water in practice, you were a sissy. And I mean, that's what we were taught. You were a big deal sissy. Oh, you need a drink of water, sissy, go on. Man, if I were a high school wrestling coach, I'd have a water fountain installed right next to the restroom room or just in the restroom room or where it's not going to cause a mess. Because I do twice, 2 or 3 times in practice.
Guys,
2 or 3 times in practice. We're going to stop getting to the water.
my trainers,
Fit us pretty well. If the guy is real tall, you may not feel the same here, but if you're tall, you have an advantage over a guy that's short. Because when you lift the guy up, he'll on his toes. But from an underhook, you want to learn to control it. I tell people to do, you block, you lock, you tuck. You block the armpit, you lock your elbow, but now you can't take your arm off. You can lock your elbow and take it off. And you tuck your head. Okay, because if you don't tuck your head, that right arm's got nothing better to do than side headlock. That's what we were starting to work on the other day, just when we quit doing this, what we're going to start on right now. Because a lot of guys get in there and stick their head out like a goose and wonder why. You say, well, I wonder why he wants me to tuck my head. You'll find out. And side headlock is probably one of the most basic throws, if you want to call it that there is. It's an opportunity situation that I think everybody should learn. Folk style, freestyle, Greco, Trombo, Judo, I don't care. It's everywhere. Y'all learn a good side headlock. But from an underhook, you block, lock, and you tuck, and you put your hips in. So most guys will bend over. You bend over, if you bend over, remember, go ahead and bend over. Put your butt. Then his elbow gets exposed, and this guy's going to rip it off. He's going to put it in, come out, and that, you're going to get hurt. So because you have that happen when you bend over, you don't bend over, you put your hips in. There you go. Now there's your underhook position. It's pretty hard for Brendan here to do anything to him because he can't get his arm loose. This arm, he can't get that arm out, and he's got a problem. Now, what we were getting ready to work on before was that everything was fine here except that Travis left his head sticking out. Brendan's going to plant his feet. In fact, don't stay quiet, it's perpendicular to it. Plant, there you go. Plant your feet. Now hit that side headlock with a sag. Just sag. You don't step over and trip him. You don't step under him and try to lift him. You just plant your feet and sag your hips into it. I learned from a Yugoslavian coach to do a side headlock the right way. The Americans were doing it the wrong way for years, and no wonder we were getting rolled through and thrown out of the gym because we were doing it a certain way. So we get an underhook. Now the underhooker really, to me, has an advantage in this position if he knows what he's doing, because he's got a lot of things to do. Always block, lock, and tuck. But in this case, he blocked and he locked. Might have thrown his hips in, but he forgot to tuck. And when he does, the other man, let's say I think Brendan stands too perpendicular to me. He's probably going to be more than that, but he's right there you go. Now from this position, he hit the side headlock with his feet planted. He does not move his feet. He shifts his hips. His hips come into the guy. So he hits the side headlock with his feet planted. Now throw your hips in. There you go. Now, this man can't roll you through. If you come in and try to step or trip, the guy's gonna roll you through. You roll with you. Okay? And I don't know whether you're gonna work on your underhook or whatever, but that's what we're doing. So, do you want to do that or what?
They're yours.
too many of the pictures in the post office. You know. Okay. All right, fellas, listen. Let me tell you something. I don't know how many guys are wrestling. Let me ask you this. It don't matter now. Don't worry about it. How many of you guys have never wrestled? Never wrestled. Oh. We're good. How many of you wrestled 3 years or more? Coach, they'll recruit some of these guys, huh? All right. How many of you ever worked on an underhook? Good. How many of you are always taught to block, tuck, gets in? Okay. Do you know what you did on an underhook that's going to hurt you? Where's starting? You know what's going to hurt you on your underhook? Is you're going to underhook. Now tell me if this isn't it. Let me tell you something about wrestling. It's probably one of the most honest sports in the world. The truth will always come out. So you better learn it and then know what's going on, because if you don't do what I'm telling you, it'll tell. How many of you guys that underhook it can probably bend over? Like this. Yeah. And so what was wrong? And then you bent over. And then I'll tell you what. You get into the wrestling world to the point where those guys will try to hurt you. You can't allow something like that to ever happen. Underhook's a great move, but only if you are in the right position. So when I underhook, it's like, this is all brought up. Now let's see him do that. He better do something pretty quick, because I can drop right here real easy. I can go here for an ankle pick. I can go here for a front headlock. I can go here for an inside trip. There's a whole lot of stuff.
Don't worry about all that yet.
Okay? But I'm just trying to tell you. And one of the simplest things you got to do, if I get an underhook on you, you have a wizard, and you got a good wizard, I'll just grab your wizard and hold you, and I'll bust you like a watermelon. Your head's going to hit, boom, just whiplash, because here we go. So there's a lot of stuff I can do from there. So it's a good position, but only if you block, tuck, hips in. Okay? Now, what we just did with this, you got an underhook. I want you to all do this. You have an underhook. Block at the armpit, no, not the elbow, the armpit. If you block at the elbow, that gives me too much motion to move. Block me at the armpit, that's the source of movement. Now I can't, if I come inside, it won't come off. If I come outside, it won't come off. You get into the elbow, it comes right off. It has nothing to do with power, it's just the way we're built. Okay, so everything's right for it. You got everything right. The underhook's in, but he forgot to tuck his head. My feet are basically where they started. Okay? Question. Let's see you do it. Get your part. Maybe you do it. What happens to a lot of you, you're not getting like this. You're trying to throw it from here. No, you're not going to do that because he's going to be in on your leg. You're going to be, there you go. I'm going to be out here in front of you. My feet are out here. They're not here like this. Okay, now, my feet, you just watch my feet. They're real slow. My feet really never leave the position they're in right now. And so make sure that you're in the right position when you start this, because you're not going to turn perpendicular to the guy because he's going to nail you. Okay? Just leave your feet put. I'm not going to tell you your coach is wrong if you disagree, but I'm telling you right now that if you try to trip or you try to put your hip in there, he's going to roll through it.
The great ones will throw you before he actually hits your head lot. The pretty good ones will gut wrench you on through and roll you.
We were doing this in Yugoslavia, so the guys, Yugoslavian coach comes up and says, "Oh, no. Shit. So every time we do this, these guys go, "Choom," they throw us down the tip. So I'll believe you. So that's the way to do it, I'll tell you. Let's go.
Now, you're trying to do all this work. But that one is stronger than you. You might win. So if you hit that thing, it shouldn't matter how strong he is. Regardless of how it happens, you'll say, "Hey, Okay, back again. background semicircular, guys.
Real quick. Now listen to me. An underhook is an aggressive position. In other words, when I see a guy in an underhook, I'm expecting you to be offensive. I want you going after the guy. And I'm expecting you to remember to block lock, tuck hips in. If you don't tuck your head, this is what can happen to you. That's why we're working on it. So it's important that you learn how to do an underhook right. if you learn how to put the underhook on right, then you create a position that the other man has to do certain things to fight. And because you know where you are, you know what those positions are, you're going to be ready for it. So most of the time, what's going to happen to you when you underhook, if you do an underhook right, the guy's going to back out. He's going to bend over and try to get his hips back. And when he does, he's pulling right into a front headlock. Now, if I were going to teach one hold, I've asked this many, many times, I said, Blue Nuts, what would you teach? He's going to teach one move. What would you teach? Without any hesitation, to me, the best hold I can teach you would be a front headlock. The reason is that everyone makes a mistake that they shouldn't make out there, and it's a natural mistake they make. They bend over. And a front headlock beats a guy that bends over. Whether you bend over, whether I bend you over, or regardless of how you, or whether you shoot your head down, it doesn't matter. If you're bent over, your head's down, and I front headlock you, I should score probably 90% of the time with a good front headlock. So an underhook leads to a lot of things you can do. The front headlock's one of the best because if I get my hips in, don't you feel like getting your hips back? I think so. When I come in with my hips, you don't feel good. You feel like, damn, he's right underneath you. You got to get your hips back. When you get your hips back, where's your head? Boom, it comes down. Now all I'm going to do is help you. And it'll pull you right to a front headlock. Okay? So real quick, let me show you. We spend a whole lot of time working on a front headlock. I'm trying to get you to understand what an underhook will do for you. Come here, Starkey. So, if I have a good underhook, Starkey and I are close enough to the same height that he feels pretty uncomfortable when I get here like this. He doesn't feel good because he realizes I can drop on him. I might feel his arm by. Inside leg lift, the guy won the world championships with that right there. Block. Never even go to the mat. You got a number of things to do. So what happens is, he comes in, see his head's down. I put him down right here. There's my front headlock. From the front headlock, what do we do? Oh, I was just but we have him in a bad position. Okay? Now, what is the front headlock? We're going to work on this with the little group we have here. And it takes a while to learn this thing. We're going to spend probably time on it. You guys pay attention, you can go home and you can pound the hell out of people with it because it's hard to fight. If you have a good one, it's hard to fight. Almost anything you do to fight me allows something else to happen. And most people think, how many of you guys have been taught a front headlock? Okay, how many of you have been taught to lock it up? How many have been taught to unlock it? Yeah. Okay, well, an unlocked front headlock is a lot safer for you guys right now. When you learn to lock it up, you won't need me showing you. When you learn to lock it up, a locked front headlock isn't going to be countered very easy, I guarantee you. But most people don't do it right, so it's consequently they get the sucker dragged and they lose it, then they get discouraged with the front headlock for using it. Unlocked is best. And when I tell you an unlocked front headlock, here's exactly what I'm telling you. And I want you to do exactly what I'm telling you, the way I'm telling you, because this is the way you're going to learn it right. Start with on your hands and knees. I'm going to go up to him on my hands and knees, shoulder to shoulder. I want you shoulder to shoulder, just like we are here right now. Because that puts your shoulder in a position to put the pressure on the man to make him realize that he's not going to go anywhere. And that pressure has to come from putting pressure on your acromioclavicular joint right here on the top of your shoulder. If you want to raise your arm up, feel there, you'll feel a little divot up there. That's your acromioclavicular joint. So you get shoulder separations. It's a weak spot in the human body. Now you're not going to hurt a guy, but you are going to make him hurt. And there's a difference. You're not crippled when you're over it. You just feel better. It just hurts for a moment when you're in it. That's the reason I want you to come up here shoulder to shoulder. Because if I don't have you do this, you'll end up with your shoulder here and over here like this. And you're trying to put pressure on the guy and you have no pressure. And wham, here it comes into you and gets you in and you don't like front headlock. You didn't do a front headlock. With a front headlock, my shoulder goes within a 2.5 inch circle here right on top of your shoulder. If it gets over here, over here, over here, over here, it's not a front headlock. You just have a head. You just have a head locked and you don't have anything else. Okay, now, here we are. Now, the arm on the side of the head's on. It goes up on his head. But everybody wants to grab the head. They want to grab the chin. The problem with grabbing the chin is that when you grab the chin, your elbow sticks up, sticks out. And the guy will come underneath to attack you when you get in here like this, and you'll think you have him, but he'll come underneath that arm and come into you, right? Well, just attack, it doesn't matter. That's not good. The arm that goes around the head has one purpose, and that's to push the head down. And I do it with my bicep. I put the back of my fist on his chest, I put the back of my fist right on his titty, and I shove his head down with my bicep. Now, a man can't shoot forward looking down. He cannot shoot forward if he's looking down and looking back. So this arm has nothing to do but to push his head down. The other arm grabs the guy at the elbow. Not above the elbow, at the bend of the elbow. And you pull that elbow right to your chest. Now you can imagine, you can think about this. If I'm pushing down on his head, putting my shoulder right there and pushing in on it, and pulling up on his elbow, that pressure's going to be there. So here I am. I pull the elbow to my chest, push down on the head. Starkey's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. What am I going to do? I take a silent step. In that corner here, here's my cradle. I haven't finished it yet, but I'll guarantee you, here we go. We'll go right into the cradle. Okay? Now, there's some little things here that maybe you don't catch on the right way, but if you will learn the proper way to put a front headlock on a guy, you will figure out the holes on your own. A lot of them. You really will. And you heavy guys, one of the best holes I've ever seen for a heavyweight. One of the best people I ever had with this was a kid named Rod Chamberlain. Came down here to wrestle for me when I was coaching there. And he learned the front headlock from me in the summer camp. And he came to wrestle for me. He's the first heavyweight I couldn't just pound the hell out of. And I'm not saying that to beat little heavyweights, I'm not. The point is, his best over the front headlock. He put me in my place. I told him, I said, take that metal, cut it in half, or take the whole thing, because I ain't wrestling you anymore. Beat that hell out of that damn front headlock. He's so good with it. At 300 pounds, that's before the weight, really. He'd kill you with it. Everybody come to watch him wrestle. They come to the match and about halfway through him because they want to see him pin somebody else. Pin everybody wrestle. Front headlock. So it doesn't matter whether you're little or small, or big or small. It doesn't matter. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. Shoulder to shoulder, top to top, arm on the head. It doesn't grab the head at all. Back of the fist goes underneath his chest. Push the head down with it. Reach out here and grab his elbow and pull it to your chest. And right there is your front headlock. Now, what you do with it, we can go into that. That's what I want you to learn. And if the bottom end feels no pressure, yell at me. Okay? Get your partner. Let's go. Shoulder to shoulder. Figure out her take over. This end,
I don't have a partner.
Okay, back again. Now, did you guys feel the pressure or not? Now, you know, a lot of times you guys will say, fellas, if you don't feel the pressure, yell at me. Yell at you, do what you do it to me. Listen to me, listen to me. Anytime there's some hurt, or pain, or pressure that goes with a hole, get the guy that can do it the best to do it to you. Because you want to know what that guy feels when you're doing it to him, because you've been there. Now you know what he's thinking, because you've been there. So if you've got some pressure, hurt, or pain that's on a hole, try to make sure that you get the guy that can do it the best to do it to you, because you really want to know what it feels like when you're in it. That way you know what that guy's thinking. It's just like this. Here's a great hole for teaching this. Right here. This is what's called a quarter muscle. This is a shallow quarter. This quarter here is worth the crack. You should beat me every time I put this on. Remember what to do? Now wait a minute now. You did what do you do first? Yeah, so see I can't. See if I can put his head down to the shallow quarter, I can beat him. But he knows this. So we're going to put a shot. Now I can't put his head down. I can't break his arm. Now he's going loose arms. He'll step around and there's the shallow quarter. Now with it in. Now if I get his head down, I win. But he knows that, so he's going to let that happen. So I teach, okay, here's a deep quarter. Now, you can show God, get your ass goodbye because you got a problem. I'm telling you. And nobody realizes just how much this thing can hurt. I'm not joking, but it sure hurts. Now, if the guy's not making it hurt, then you get somebody that can, because you need to know what he feels like. He knows, I know. I don't have to do it to him anymore. But he knows. Okay? And that's just an example. It's easy to see. For him, lots of pressure. If there's no pressure here, then you probably have your shoulder up here. There's no pressure there. Oh, I've got some weight on him, but I don't have any. There's no really pressure. It's too really good. There's where I want to be. Now, I think if I wanted to do this, I could plan him to start me out just with the pressure. Because he wants to go down anyway. Okay?
I only saw 2 people doing it, but both times they were doing it, they started out right, and then they lifted up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden their shoulders on top and they wonder why. Just be careful that when you do it, don't move your shoulder. Remember where your shoulder's at and keep it in the same spot while you grab the head. And that's the key with the shoulder, is you just make sure it's in the same spot.
If it gets out, none of them says you can't move it again. You may get up here, move it again. Then it's up to you. You can move your own body as you move the other guy. Okay, now, here's what I want you to do. 90% of you, 99% of you are going to do it wrong. You're going to leave here doing it wrong, but you're still going to get away with it, too. First thing I want to get on you is prick. I want to pin you. If I don't pin you, I want to scare you anyway. So I want to get this new leg, but I want to do it very silently. I don't want to keep going for it real fast. If I go for it fast, he moves fast. So what I want to do is, I have the pressure on him right now,
I have him held down. I take a step without he ever never feels it. He doesn't feel that step. But I cut the distance down from 180 degrees to 90. All because I did this. Now, I'm going to go for that leg, but I go for the ankle. Most of you are going to go for the knee. You're going to beat a lot of guys anyway, but I want the ankle. And what did I do when I went for the ankle? I loosened up on the head, because if I don't loosen up on the head, I can't get to the ankle without pulling my whole rope. If I hold the head tight and move that way, that moves his back up. So I'm pulling my whole rope.
Hey, Jim, how you
Can't
doing?
do that. So as I go for the ankle, I loosen up on the head. Look at the head. You say, well, he's going to take your hand off the head, yeah? Maybe, but he's going to take a hand up there to do it. And when he does it, oh, there we go. The three-legged table's over a whole lot.
Yeah, so the Division I requirements, I've got to
Now.
have, like 13 divisions.
Why not grab the knee? Here's why not grab the knee. If he comes around and grabs my knee,
Yeah, I'm sure I will have.
I sit on it.
It'll be a
He
budget.
can't get his hand out.
Then, tell you what,
I'm going to run an elbow right through his chest.
yes, I've got a budget increase.
It doesn't knock us shit out.
I will,
No, you guys must go, like it's all they are.
if I.
Most of you are still going to go grab that old knee, I know. It's just hard to tell you not to. But it's best not to. Grab the heel, grab the shoot, the ankle. That's for leverages. In fact, let me ask you something. Start to get that, get a grip on him. On the side, with him still on his hands and knees. How many of you guys lock your hands? Yeah, now, Zach, spread your arms out, keep your head there. Have any of you guys ever had a guy cradle before and couldn't get him over? Huh?
You know, with the people arrested.
What should you do to make it work? Huh? Turn it loose and go to the heel. Now knock him over. Now cradle. But telling you a little first to turn it loose, I'm going to pull my own teeth. Well, I don't know how you pull it. I pull it.
Our easiest division opponents.
Okay? You won't turn that loose. I go out there and beat you, you wouldn't turn it loose. But if you don't turn it loose, you'll never get him over. So the guy gets that position, and like Zach's still kind of lanky, he can spread his arms when he's out there, and he won't get him over with that cradle locked up. You won't get him over. But if you'll unlock it, and go down to the ankle, boom, over he goes. In fact, I'll tell you what,
We're kind of excited.
I want all you little piss ends to do this, because you gotta understand leverage. Wrestling is leverage. One of the greatest coaches in the United States, Gallagher from Oklahoma State. Wasn't even wrestling coach. He wasn't even a wrestler. He was a physics instructor. He taught wrestling by physics, by leverage, all leverages. And
Yeah, but we're still not eligible.
considered the greatest coach we've ever had. Probably compared with the minds that people have today, it was nothing. But at that point, he had something. I want you all to do this for me. Get in that position again. Go Zach that cradle. Take a look. He's got a cradle. He's got it locked up. You guys that have the cradle on you, you got your arms, you know, like a big spider. You're just up there. You're not going to let him take you over. And I know that some of you have been here and not being able to get a guy over too. So if that happens, unlock it, slip to the ankle, keep your head in the ribs, knock him over. Now, once you get him over, now you can come back and lock your hands. Actually, the last thing you do is lock your hands. You step through, then you lock his hands. In fact, you know that it's even tighter without the hands locked? I'm not going to go into it, but it is. Everybody thinks, look, I'll lock my hands. Sometimes that's the worst thing to do, because now you have no more motion. That's the end of it.
Well, I took 4 guys.
Question or anything? Travis, let me see you do one for you. Still struck. Okay, now okay, now go down and get the cradle. You got it at the knee. Now that's the wrong place to get it. But we're all going to slip and do it sometime or another. And he locks his hand, doesn't lock his hand. Now I